Thanks very much. Like famous performers of every kind, athletes have always attracted groupies, women who are attracted to their fame, follow them, and try to be with them. Now, in years past, when athletes were paid like any other worker, it was generally thought that groupies pursued them perhaps for sex, possibly for bragging rights, but mainly for just the fun of it. Well, these days, it seems, that dynamic has changed. Now that athletes command enormous salaries, their followers have a newer, more lucrative reason to get involved. As Armin Katayan found out, there's a new breed of hungry women out there living by a whole new set of rules.
Belle Robinson and Raven Marlowe are not professional athletes.
Men love straight hair.
But when it comes to the NBA and NFL,
No broke men tonight, please!
these two 26-year-old grad students are major players.
We're stars, we're famous, we're fabulous, we're gorgeous.
And tonight, like so many nights, it's game time.
You want to put a number on it? How many athletes you've had sex with?
That's a juicy question.
Yeah, that's very disturbing.
Can we talk teams for a second?
The hottest players that, like, I know, it's like the Pacers, Sacramento Kings, you know.
Pacers, Kings,
the Eagles,
Wizards.
the Sixers, the Knicks, they're pretty hot, yeah.
We've all heard about groupies, female fans who hang around stadiums or linger around hotel lobbies looking to score with famous athletes for bragging rights. But a new breed of women like Belle and Raven couldn't care less about a notch on a bedpost. Bottom line, they're in it for the money.
The most extravagant gift you've ever received?
A navigator.
That's a nice gift. And Belle, how about you?
A Mercedes, and I got like 25 G's to drop on my house.
Is it lifestyles of the rich and famous? Do you get a call, meet me here, I want to fly you there?
You go on vacation, you're definitely staying somewhere nice.
Yeah, and
Aruba,
shopping sprees and stuff
Turks
like
and
that.
Caicos.
If it all sounds like a fabulous life, well, that's because it is. More than ever, multi-millionaire athletes today are living the lives of celebrities. The kind most of us only see in hip-hop videos, where the champagne and the diamonds flow freely. But let's make one thing clear. We're not suggesting that any of the athletes shown in this report have relationships with women trying to cash in.
She wanna turn me on.
But if you're looking for an NBA superstar, say LeBron James, you'll find him in VIP sections of the hottest nightclubs, which is why women like Belle and Raven can be found here too. Beauties with brains to match.
Do you sometimes pretend you don't know who they are, or that
Yeah,
they...
I play dumb. I'm
I
like,
do all
what
the
do you do
time.
for a living? Why are you so tall? And they get mad because it's like, I'm a star. Notice me. You're supposed to know who I am. You're supposed to know what I'm worth.
A lot easier to reel them in that way, isn't it? When you play like you're not impressed with who they are.
It's much easier.
But coy quickly gives way to calculating. Soon enough, as we discovered, the negotiations begin. The athletes seeking arm candy with no strings attached. The women courting cash and the finer things in life.
I tell them I like things. I like gifts. I like to go shopping. I like to travel. I like things.
Has anyone ever said to you, well, I'm sorry, I just thought we really connected here?
No. I have to laugh.
If they give you money, they expect sex in return?
If they've been doing a lot of things for you, yeah, they expect sex. They take you on a trip, they're definitely expecting sex, you know that.
Those who exchange sex for payment, I feel like it's legalized prostitution.
Andrea Blackstone is the author of Schemin', Confessions of a Gold Digger, a fictional book based in part on personal experiences. After losing a serious NFL boyfriend to what she calls gold-digging groupies, Blackstone spent a year immersed in a secret world where everyone benefits.
The athlete is paying, and he's paying for a lot of different things.
Right.
He's paying for sex. He's paying for what else?
Discretion. There's a plus of paying these women or really spoiling them because it's sort of a fair exchange in a sense.
So in some respects, the money and the lifestyle buys a certain amount of silence from the women that are with the athletes.
I believe so, yes. they know that it's an agreement and it's an unspoken rule that if you make me happy, I will keep you happy, but don't rock the boat for it.
It's a certain amount of respect on the fact that he's helping you. If you ever are in a conversation with someone, don't bring my name up, or, you know, if you're ever talking to one of my wife's friends, don't just say, oh, I'm sleeping with him.
I can see somebody saying, at the very least, that these women are gold diggers, that they're prostitutes.
A lot of them put in the same situation will probably make some of the same choices that I've made. If this man is going to help me better myself, why wouldn't I, why wouldn't I deal with him?
But it's not just the athletes and the women who get what they want. No, as Real Sports found out, club owners and promoters also profit from the arrangement, knowing full well when they advertise the likes of Terrell Owens and NBA stars Larry Hughes and Gilbert Arenas hanging out at their clubs, hundreds of young ladies are sure to follow, many willing to do whatever it takes to be in VIP. Just ask Tim Murphy, who's handled security at Washington, D.C. nightclubs for more than 20 years, guarding everyone from Latrell Sprewell to Allen Iverson. Who you guarding them from?
Most of the time, it's the women that get out of hand. I mean, they'll do anything to get to them.
Now, when you say anything,
Anything as far as money, sex.
for you.
Absolutely.
This obsession with pro athletes knows no bounds. On any given night at club after club in New York, D.C., Atlanta, Houston, or Miami, you'll see one woman after another make a play on one athlete after another, after another, after another. And it's not just stars like six-time NBA champion Robert Horry. Check out the turnout at this party in New York City the night before the NBA draft. Thrown for guys who haven't even signed contracts yet, but who could well hit the lottery and become instant millionaires the next day. While it's clear not all NBA and NFL players at these parties are engaging in questionable behavior, we saw firsthand that sometimes it's far from a one-way street. Do the athletes say something to you like, Tim, I like?
Yeah, a lot of times they'll do that. They'll whisper to me and say, ask her to come over, or it's okay to let her come over.
Are you aware of athletes paying for sex for different kinds of reasons?
Just like with me, the ladies will slip the money right in my hand, and I'll pass them through, and the athletes, they'll pay them.
Promoter Alan Barkoff has also heard and seen it all. In almost a decade in the business, he's thrown parties for numerous athletes, including NBA All-Star Antoine Jameson and New York Giant Antonio Pierce.
Some players go out sometimes just to be with their boys, just to hang out, have a nice night. They're going home. That's the end of that. Some players go out, yeah, they want to meet girls. Some have orgies. The players may like a girl and say, yeah, I want to fly you into New Orleans, to Portland, to New York, to Philly, DC. So it's like instead of trying to find a girl in every city, they're like this one girl, you bring them in everywhere. You know, I mean, again, that's up to each and every player, but definitely deals do go down.
And just as scouts search for the next great prospect, these ladies scour the internet, hunting for athletes who will pay to play. And what they find, believe it or not, are websites that not only list upcoming parties all over the country, but post photos of athletes at previous events. There's even a guidebook called Sex a Baller Out of His Mind and Money, with sections like games to run on a baller, how to ask for cash and other things, and yes, even sexual positions. It's nothing less than a bestseller. And that's not all. On internet chat groups like NBA Players Mistress, members like I Want Vince and Anthony's Baby Girl get down and often dirty all day long.
It blew my mind because I didn't find one of them. I found many of them. Some have as many as a couple of thousand of females in them.
A couple of thousand?
Yes, a couple of thousand. And it seems as though
Chatting about
anything and everything pertaining to professional athletes, whether it's a football player or a basketball player.
Now, when you say anything and everything,
I mean literally anything and everything, from what he's like in bed to what kind of female he likes to rumors they heard.
One member even provides a link to an NBA website, which lists the annual salaries of every player in the league.
are some of the athletes naive to what's going on?
Some of them, I think maybe the rookies, maybe, who are not used to going out on a regular basis, not used to having women just throw themselves at their feet. A lot of them are like, maybe she really wants to talk to me, you know?
Maybe she likes me.
We know about now what you're thinking. How do wives or even honest-to-goodness girlfriends figure in all this? The answer is, they really don't.
Have you been confronted before, either one of you, by
Oh, God.
wives?
He did not leave with her. And he just told her, look, you know the deal, I'm gonna be home later and stuff like that. But
could you put yourself in the position of the wife for a
sure.
moment?
Yes, I could understand where she was coming from and stuff like that. But it's not my fault, though, you know?
Well,
And
whose fault is it?
It's his fault. I don't have no commitment to you. Your husband did. And that's what you need to deal with.
With all the infidelity taking place these days, it's little wonder that athletes with a whole lot to lose are willing to pay a whole lot of money to keep their private life out of the public eye.
Secrecy is a must because it could turn into a publicity nightmare. There's money at stake, there's endorsements at stake, there is so much at stake, one's reputation.
The other major players in this new kind of game choose to remain silent as well. It took us 5 months before we found Bell and Raven. The reason, quite simply, is this.
The athlete has the power, although it's a dual relationship, and if he's not happy or he feels like she's violating terms of that spoken or unspoken agreement, why deal with her anymore? Next.
If you were going to point a finger here, is there one place you could point to for responsibility or blame, or do you need more than one finger?
I would point 2 fingers. One at the athlete, or one at the female, or the females. Gold diggers would die out if men were not willing to enter into these types of arrangements. It would be passé.
How much longer do you think, both of you think you'll be involved in this game?
I just look at it as fun. And when I stop going out and probably get married and really like lay back and stuff like that.
Settle down.
But right now, it's just like I'm doing me. I'm having fun. I'm enjoying life, and so.
When I get tired of it, I'll probably be like, okay, I've done that, been there, done that. You know, I'm gonna hang my player card up now.
Armin, you said it in the piece, but it's worth noting again, we're not suggesting that any of the athletes seen in the piece were involved in anything that they shouldn't have been, right?
You're absolutely right.
Okay. Also, I got to ask you, athletes were noticeably absent among your interviewees. What happened?
Well, we absolutely tried to reach them, as many as 40, either by fax or phone or mail or in person, and they wanted no part of this piece. We actually did sit down with one of them, an NBA player, but when it was clear where that discussion was going in specifics.
No part of it. It was also pretty apparent that everybody in the piece was African American. Can we assume that the same rules apply to white athletes?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Do any of these girls hope for emotional involvement, or is that not part of the bargain?
You know, that's interesting. I didn't really see a whole lot of love or emotional involvement in this. This is a cash business, and it's a business transaction working from both sides. So I think it's more of, this is my stepping stone in life. This is where I want to go. This is the lifestyle I want to lead. I'm not getting emotionally involved.
And you're my route to a better place.
Absolutely.
In that respect, these girls, they're labeled gold diggers, prostitutes, but is what they're doing really that much different from what happens at happy hour down on Wall Street or out in Hollywood at a bar?
Absolutely. In the sports entertainment business, Fortune 500 companies, I mean, this is life. And, you know, you can call these girls whores, prostitutes, or you can call the athletes whores, because it's a two-way street. The word that I'm hearing now more than all others in the hip-hop world is pay girlfriends.
Pay girlfriends.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Armin, thanks very much.
You're welcome.